Hey Scorpio, how are you today? It is July 14th. Welcome to the channel. If you have a moment, trying to get this channel kind of up and running, kicked off with some subscribers or views. So, like, share, subscribe. You know how it goes. Do your thing. Would really appreciate it. Or if you could share it with somebody that maybe this video resonates with, that'd be awesome. If you'd like a personal reading, check the description box. Should be my email in there. Shoot me a note. We'll kind of get something scheduled. But let's just dive right into the reading today. I'm using the Osho Zen Tarot deck, which I don't really see too often on YouTube. So kind of unique deck to be using, but it's one of my favorites. First card that we have is Understanding. Next card we have is Patience, followed by Trust, Past Lives, Ordinariness, Politics, Conditioning, Intensity, Morality, and Inner Voice. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Harmony. Love these cards. Give me a minute while I just tune in to the cards. So Scorpio, as a sign of birth, death, and transformation, I feel like you, more than any other sign, understands deeper maybe than other people who are judgmental, maybe have conditioned beliefs or just ways of thinking that are not as malleable as someone like you, where I feel like all the Scorpios that I know in my life are incredibly understanding people because they also have been on a journey of birth, death, and transformation. So when people maybe have like life problems, a lot of times you're kind of the go-to person for that. Unfortunately, maybe you're not like too keen on that idea, but ultimately there's a reason for that, you know, why people are kind of drawn to you. And it's because you are very patient with people. This is not going to resonate with every Scorpio. It's definitely dependent on where your, ascendant sign is, because you could have something that's conflicting that to some regard and lack patience. But the overall theme I'm getting for you is that you may have also come to an understanding recently about someone. Could be a divine feminine energy. That's what I'm picking up from the cards with, the changing of the moon here on top, the moon phases. And I think you've come to more of an intuitive understanding of a situation that was in the past something that it's quite possible that you lacked full comprehension as to like what is going on here. And instead of kind of being the person to come down on another human because of it or judge them, gravitate away from them, I think you've just like tried to look at it 360 and understand the person, their views, have patience tied to the matter. And it's quite possible that if it was someone like that you didn't really fully trust, you're moving into a new phase of life, of ways of thinking. And whenever I see this card, I just think of acceptance. So again, it's possible that you could have just lacked a lot of information tied to the matter and maybe formulated some type of judgment or thought as to like, oh, I already know kind of what's going on, but some new information might have come to you recently that's made you reassess like who this person is, what the situation was, and you're maybe formulating a deeper sense of trust and acceptance that what has occurred or tied to this individual in particular. And a lot of it could be tied to past conditioning. I think you also got the conditioning card over here. So it's possible this is like generational karma that's kind of been passed down over and over and over again through your life cycle. And you have the ability now to transmute that energy in a new, profound way that maybe, again, for example, if you come from a very strict household or a conditioned like lifestyle way of thinking that has always been thought, right? My parents thought that, my grandparents thought that, this is how it is, this is how it's got to be. I think you're breaking free from that, Scorpio, and you're truly just allowing yourself to be uninhibited, or just more free spirited. Forgive me to not speaking correctly, but you're just more free spirited and allowing new ideas and thoughts that you in the past could have rejected just because it wasn't accepted, wouldn't be accepted by others in choosing a different path. You're allowing that to kind of like transmute itself. And I think you want to start fresh in a new way of being without just being tied to old ways or old conditioning that's holding you back in life. And in doing that, I think maybe in the past too that you could have thought, or maybe I just heard, from spirit as I'm channeling the information is, I was going to say one thing, but this is really more so what I'm tuning in and getting is that I think that you ultimately, you're such a dynamic person, Scorpio, that if it's kind of like if I go outside the mold, if I like do something that's a little bit different or not part of the ordinary, right? What everyone else thinks, that I'll be looked at as kind of weird or different, or just you just won't be looked at maybe as well, or people won't hold high regard for you to some capacity if you like go outside the mold and decide to like choose a different path for yourself or way of thinking. And which is interesting too, because maybe it's quite possible that because it would cause conflict within your network or social settings or environment. And a lot of that again is tied back to conditioning and just when we grow up, we are taught to believe certain things. We're taught to act a certain way, talk a certain way. It's very hard sometimes to like just accept yourself for who you are. And if you're different, the hurt that can come from that, it's not a good feeling. You want to be accepted, especially by the people that you love and respect and you've been around most of your life. So I think you're coming to a place of understanding that like in just following that way of life, it's actually making you ordinary. And maybe in the past, again, you could have been like, I have to do it, this is just like how things are, this is how it is, type of thing. But now you're realizing that's actually denied you who you are, because maybe you are more of a unique individual. You're not ordinary, you don't want to be ordinary, or you're just kind of breaking free from that way of thinking, understanding that it might cause conflict and it might piss some people off in your immediate family or friend circle, but it's who you are, Scorpio. I think you're realizing that maybe like too, you haven't been who you are for a long time. Like this conditioning and robotic way of behaving, acting, talking, whatever, yeah, it doesn't cause conflict. It's people expect that of you, but that's not you, Scorpio. Like you are passion, fire. Even though you're not a fire sign, there's like a passion, intensity, a depth to your character You are so unique, there's such a raw power that exists within you that is bursting to get out. It's like if you've subdued that for a really long time, I think you're realizing that, again, I may be intense and I may be different, but I'm definitely not ordinary. And I'm definitely not this person that essentially, yes, I maybe have exemplified patience and understanding for people, and I'm kind of quiet in nature, but it's like somebody like lighting the candle again with you. Something just starts churning where it brings out a new fire inside of you that you've always known existed, but just maybe never fully embraced that because, again, it wasn't fully accepted. I think you just want to be who you want to be without fault or having to like justify that to anybody, which is like commendable and really cool. And I think it's making you look at birth, death, and transformation in a new way as well. Maybe you thought a certain way of life was this is how it goes, and this is what I'm supposed to do, and this is who I'm supposed to be. And it's really making you go back to like connect with your true, authentic self for who you are, accept that, embrace it, and not hold back anymore. Because I think you're just realizing again too that there's a lot more to life. There's a lot more to people than maybe we see on the surface level. But unless we choose to look deeper and to accept that even too maybe some past wounds, trauma, emotions, things that we have held back on for so long, often that's actually what holds us back in life, is like not actually embracing the new and a new way of thinking, and that no one actually wants to ever admit that we're wrong. Matter of fact, right? Because it doesn't make us feel good, but it's a part of life. It's a part of the journey that people are on to be accountable. Maybe not, doesn't even have to be external, but at least you're accountable to yourself, understanding that it's okay to be wrong. It's totally okay. If anything, that is what propels our evolution forward into a new place and to a higher potential that maybe previously you were just, it could have almost been like a blockage, that was preventing you from actually evolving as a human. And it's really telling you to go internal, listen to your intuition, your inner voice. What is it telling you? Most of the time when we are in situations that we are not totally sure of, we don't tune in to ourselves, what our needs are, what we are compelled to do. I actually watched, this is a stupid example, but I watched an old episode of Oprah a long time ago, and it was about this woman who had been attacked in her home, and she intuitively knew, like, she got into her house and something like did not feel right, and she kept saying, I don't know if I want to like stay in here. So she almost left the house, and she kept getting like an intuitive reading, like feel, this is just not right, this doesn't feel good, like maybe somebody's in my home. Ignored it, and then ended up getting like stabbed. I don't even know, it was like hundreds of times or something. It was like absolutely insane. She ended up living to tell this story on Oprah, which was an incredible story. But I'm not saying you're going to get attacked in your home, Scorpio, but it's when we ignore our intuition, that's never going to guide us wrong or in the incorrect direction. It's always going to lead you to the right path. Sometimes we just don't want to follow our intuition, or we're not able to tune into it fully because of distractions, external events, things going on in our life that we're too busy to really even just take a time out to really tune in to what we feel is correct. And so I do feel strongly that whatever the situation is or was in your life, that, and even what you're going through, just internal, and who you want to be, and how that reflects, I guess, outwardly on your character and your sense of integrity, that this is really giving you new opportunity to tune in to yourself. If you've been neglecting your own needs or other people's needs in a situation, listen to your inner voice. It's never going to guide you. You can meditate, go in nature, do a thought experiment, just go in your backyard with a lawn chair and just put some headphones on and just tune out from life and tune into whatever comes to you in that moment. But usually, if you ask the universe or the divine for a sign or some type of like clarification, if you're really truly unsure, ask for it. You don't even have to say it out loud. You can just say it to yourself. And most often than not, Spirit's going to give you some type of like sign externally, numbers. You're going to know. And so, because you're a water sign too, I feel like you're very much in tune with your intuition. Sometimes we just push it away because we don't want to see like the facts of a situation. It's maybe because it hurts us or it creates guilt, anxieties, depression, sadness, that we made a wrong choice or someone else did as well. It could not even be you. Maybe this is somebody around you too that's going on. But when you tune into what you know to be correct, you already know, Scorpio. Like, you don't even need my validation. You don't even need other people's validation, because your intuition is very much talking to you at this time. And I think you're starting to realize that you've neglected that for a while now. And when you do that, Scorpio, it may be hard to move away from this old way of being or these politics or conditioning. It's a lot of generational karma, like family, friendships, relationships, just old ways of being that you're realizing have not served you to this point. It's okay to take a different path. Like, you don't have to also justify that for anyone else. You own your life. You are a master of your own creation and you create your own reality. So just know, if you've been questioning that too, maybe a different career path too as well, the universe is trying to guide you, saying that, this, listen to your intuition, listen to your inner voice. It's pulling you on the right path. It's just kind of like, are you going to trust it and accept, and you just sometimes got to take the leap, knowing everything's going to be okay. The universe is validating, I'm going to catch you, which is really beautiful. And it's going to bring you more balance and harmony. So if you've, again, felt disconnected too from yourself, when you release some of these old ways of being and doing and thinking, and old jobs, old friendships, or just, maybe, again, false judgments or habits, beliefs, whatever, it's not going to steer you in the wrong direction. It's very much going to bring you more sense of fulfillment and balance. And I feel like you're going to be happy righting a wrong or doing the right thing for yourself before anyone else. And in the past, maybe you also too appeased to certain people, gave more than what you're getting. You deserve it too, Scorpio. So don't deny the fact if like something is imbalanced. I can't even get the, is it imbalanced, unbalanced, whatever, unbalanced, that you also deserve to like people to step up and do their part too. It's like, I feel like it's quite possible as well that you also take on a lot of responsibility in the household, in life, being the go-to person for advice. It's got to be balanced. It's like give and take. So if somebody's not stepping up to the plate, it's okay to step up and say, hey, you got to do your part too. It's not just a one-sided thing where I'm just giving and you're taking all the time. You also deserve that. And it's going to make you feel like more complete, in a sense that it's fair and justified. I'm going to do a couple more cards here just to see what you're moving towards after this, Scorpio. The first card we have is flowering. Letting go just validates everything that I've said. And we've got the outsider. So yeah, so I really feel strongly that you've you've watched a lot of things going on around you that you're a great observer. That's the other thing about Scorpio. You're very observant. And this is just the divine's way of asking you to trust your intuition and understand that it's okay to go outside the grain, follow a different path. You're not chained to your conditioning anymore. Like, you have a lot of power, personal power. Your word goes quite a distance, meaning sometimes we say things to people and we're like, oh, I don't know if that's ever gonna like click for them. Like, who knows if they're gonna take my advice. People listen to you when you have something to say, Scorpio. When you speak up and because they know that you're not just like erratic, you're very thoughtful. You look at it 360 in these situations. You're not just like tunnel vision. I only think this way and that's just how it is. You take it all in, you process it, you go deep, you listen to your intuition, you listen to opinions, and you look at the, subjectively, objectively, understand it. Let me get a holistic view of this before I make a decision, a choice, speak my opinion. So, this is kind of just indicating to you that if maybe there's something you want to speak up about, have a discussion about, let go of from the past, that you hold a lot of power. You're no longer the child sitting outside the walls. You're like it's almost like watching yourself break free from past conditioning and people or situations that truly have kept you confined to a box that if you choose to speak up, you choose to say something or act on it, or again, just maybe even choose a different path. Maybe you're like this, I don't know if like people will look at me as like not as dependable. Like, take the risk. You can go for it. I literally just got goosebumps as I said that. Validation from spirit. And in doing that, you're going to feel so like good. This is going to bring you so much abundance, prosperity. If it's a job change, a career direction, maybe you're changing actual job functions or a new relationship, it's going to bring you so much more beauty and fulfillment than you previously knew. But you can't keep living in the past. Coming to a place of acceptance, again, is just going to help you move forward. It may not feel great initially, but at least you're going to be at peace with the matter, and you'll do whatever the right thing you need to do for yourself first, and taking into account maybe other people in the situation. But you don't have to live by the book. You don't have to do everything the way you're told to do. You are your own person. Bring that fire back. People respect you. You have the ability to be a change agent versus just abiding by what other people want for you type of thing. So you own your own destiny, Scorpio. Amazing reading. Seems like you're moving into a great place, but just reconnect with the beauty inside of you, because that already exists. And everyone, no matter what you choose to do in this matter, even if you do decide again to like take a different route, people aren't always going to look at you like this. They're never going to look at you in like a negative way. You are beautiful, you are abundant, you are prosperous. Just reconnect with that beauty inside you again, and really you're going to be a master of your reality. So, amazing reading today. If you'd like a personal, like I said, it's in my email's in the description box. Shoot me a note, we'll set up some time. But that's all I have for you for today. I hope you have a great one. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.